Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 21, Part 2. This is Part 2 of my ranking every Dancing with the Stars dance from Season 33. I am currently on at the end of the last video, Part 1, I finished off at number 32. So I'm going least favorite to top favorite of the season. So, 32 was... I'm just pulling them back up. 32 was Chandler and Brandon's Jive. So, now I'm on number 31. So, 31, Team Goose. This was so fun. I loved every second of this, and I liked it more than Team Roar. However, it's just not my favorite team dance ever. It was fun. I would rather that over Team Roar. It's my favorite of the two from the season, but obviously, I like a lot of other team dances more, especially Team Young and Style from last year, Season 32. One of my favorite team dances of all time. It was so fun. I loved every second of it. 30. Chandler and Brandon's Contemporary. In part 1, I mentioned, when I talked about Brooks and Gleb's Salsa, I mentioned that I was gonna have some stuff to say about Chandler and Brandon's dance from that week. Here we go. Now, it's a little bit of a rant. It's not a huge rant. Like on Twitter, I just went on a tiny little rant. But, okay, so what I have on Twitter says, no, because why would this get the same score as Brooks and Gleb? Huh? The way this didn't even get 1-9, like literally all 8s for a dance this good? Nah, I'm still pissed about it. Like, are you kidding me? How is a dance that is miles better than Brooks and Gleb's? Like, Brooks and Gleb's deserve those 8s just fine. But how is a dance better than theirs going to get the same score? It made no sense to me at all. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm still pissed about it. It still makes 0 sense. And I will forever be pissed about it. Let's move on. 29, English. Chandler and Brandon's Paso Doble. This was amazing. It wasn't her best dance, but I did love it. 28, Joey and Jenna Samba. I love the choreo, and he executed it really well. It was a bit underscored, and it wasn't as bad as the judges were making it out to be. And some fans I've seen really didn't like it. It might not have been his best dance, but it was still really incredible. Especially like the whole, like that one part with Jenna on the ground. Gagged me. Loved it. Amazing. 27, Alona and Alan's Redemption Jive. This was fun to watch, and I enjoyed it more than her first jive. However, technique-wise, okay, well, I'm looking back at all of these at this thread now on Twitter, and I can see that I made a lot of grammar mistakes. Like, instead of wise, technique-wise, I put technique was. Just ignore that. If you guys want to read this for yourself, just ignore all of those typos. But anyway, I thought her first jive was a tiny bit better. I thought some parts were just a bit stiff in this one. I did like it a lot more upon rewatch, though. 26, Dwight and Daniela's Contemporary. This was their best dance by a mile. The choreo was insane, and I love seeing a good Halloween dance from Daniela. She delivers every single time. 25, Chandler and Brandon's Rumba. This was stunning, and the choreo is beautiful. I agree with the scores. I think they got all 8s for that one. 24, Brooks and Gleb's Cha-Cha. Yes, I'm putting it this high, and I do not regret it. Deal with it. They low-key ate this, and this was their best dance by a long shot. The longest shot ever. I was gagged. I find myself watching this just about every single day, and this is the dance they licked each other in. Like, they didn't actually lick their faces, but, like, it was pretty much like a French kiss kind of thing, except actually kissing. You know what I mean? Like, they literally went like that. But anyway, if you guys watch the dance, you will see the lick. I was like, huh? Did I just see that right? Anyway, moving on. 23, Danny and Whitney's Tango. Yes, his Redemption Tango was technically better. I just enjoyed this one more, and I love the choreo. So, moving on. 22, Steven and Riley's Jive. This was so much fun to watch. The choreo was everything, and I loved their energy. It may not have been his best dance technique-wise, but this was definitely one of my favorite jives ever, just based on how fun I had watching it. Like, I literally loved every second of it. Like, sure, it wasn't his best dance, but literally, I had so much fun watching it. I didn't care what went wrong, what went right. Yeah. Obsessed. 21, Chandler and Brandon's Tango. I knew she was going to eat, and she didn't disappoint. Obviously, it wasn't her best dance, but for week 1, it was very solid. 20, Chandler and Brandon's Cha-Cha. This was so fun, and I love the choreo. I love the touch of hip-hop, too. 19, Joey and Jenna's Cha-Cha. This is probably my favorite dance from the premiere. I was pleasantly surprised. Really pleasantly surprised. Because he's a bachelor. And usually bachelors don't do too well on the show. Like, for instance, Joe Amabile. Chris Soules. Like, Chris wasn't horrible. Like, he was pretty good. But he wasn't the greatest. And, like, Joe Amabile, like, he went farther than he should have. Is that what I'm trying to say? Like, he wasn't great. Like, a lot of his dances were pretty... I mean, obviously not the worst dancer I've seen on the show, but definitely not best, far from the best. But, yeah, Joe Amabile, Chris Soules, however you want to say it. Pretty much every single bachelor hasn't done very well. They've been either average, or they couldn't really dance at all. Joey blew my mind. Like, literally, they were the first dance of the season. I think I was working during the premiere, so I didn't start watching the show till after I got home, like, around 10-ish, 10:30 that night, like an hour into the show. And I first watched Joey and Jenna's Cha-Cha, I was shocked. I was really impressed. So, I loved it, and I'm really glad he won. 18, Alona and Alan's Beanie's Waltz. This was stunning, and it's one of my favorite dances of theirs. I was in awe the entire time. 17, Joey and Jenna's Freestyle. This was so fun. Okay, another tiny little rant, like a really tiny one. I don't know what Carrie Ann was getting on with. She really gave this freestyle a 9. Because she was underwhelmed. Huh? Okay, yeah, you were underwhelmed. You gave it a 9, whatever. But, yeah, I'm just so confused. Like, yeah, it wasn't my favorite freestyle ever. I was also a tiny bit underwhelmed, but I would have still gave it a 10. Like, it was incredible. Like, I did love every second of it. It wasn't my favorite freestyle ever, but I loved how they included tennis. Like, that was, I think Joey said that was his first love, but, like, yeah. I'm gonna move on. I'm done rambling. Moving on. 16, Alona and Alan's Freestyle. The first time I watched this, I thought it was pretty messy and chaotic, but upon rewatch, I loved it so much, and I found myself rewatching it very often. Also, my personal favorite part was when, literally right at the beginning of the dance, when Alona is just walking out and talking, and when she gets to the middle of the dance floor and she starts dancing, she goes, never been better, Carrie Ann. Because if you guys watched Hair Metal Night, I believe, during her jive where she had all these mistakes, she was crying in the back because she had so many mistakes. And when Carrie Ann asked her how she was feeling, she was like, I've been better, Carrie Ann. And then during her freestyle, she changed that to, never been better, Carrie Ann. And I was like, living, yes, girl, that's mother. Moving on. 15, Stephen and Riley's Argentine Tango. This is one of my favorite dances from dedication night. When I first watched it, I thought it was amazing, but it wasn't extremely memorable. Now that the season is over, I found myself rewatching it a lot. I loved it. 14, Chandler and Brandon's Argentine Tango. This did deserve a perfect score, but it's not my favorite dance of theirs. And it's not as memorable as some of her other dances. And I don't think I'll find myself rewatching it over and over again, like some of her other dances. 13, Chandler and Brandon's Instant Cha-Cha. Obviously, this was better than her first Cha-Cha, and for only 5 minutes of rehearsal, this was freaking phenomenal. Like, are you kidding me? I would have given it a perfect score, too. Sorry, not sorry. 12, now this might be a very unpopular opinion, but I don't care. Danny and Whitney's Salsa. This was honestly a major slay. The choreo was everything, they looked incredible, and the lifts were insane. This is definitely my favorite dance of theirs by the biggest smile ever. 11, Joey and Jenna's Redemption Cha-Cha. When I first watched this, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as their first Cha-Cha. However, after rewatching it, I loved it so much more, and I found myself rewatching it almost every single day. 10, Joey and Jenna's Foxtrot. This is one of my favorite Foxtrots of all time. It literally felt like I was watching a Broadway musical, honestly. 9, Joey and Jenna's Tango. This is one of my favorite tangos of all time. I love the attack, and it was so sharp and quick. 8, Alona and Alan's Quickstep. This might also be an unpopular opinion, but whatever. This is 100% my favorite dance of theirs. It was so much fun to watch, and I watched this dance every single day. My personal favorite part was when they ran around the judges' table. Like, I've never seen that before, and I loved it. 7, Stephen and Riley's freestyle. This is one of my favorite freestyles from the finale and maybe of all time. And trust me, there's a lot. It was stunning and I loved every single second of it. 6, Joey and Jenna's Viennese Waltz. This is one of my favorite Viennese waltzes of all time. I loved every single second of this, and the choreo was amazing. Queen Jenna, let's go. And I watched this constantly. Okay, another tiny little rant. No big deal. 5, Chandler and Brandon's Viennese Waltz. How this didn't get a perfect score will forever piss me off. Carrie Ann gave literally everybody a 10, except Alona and Chandler. Now, like I said, and I was going to say in yesterday's video, but that's not the case. In part 1, I said that when I said, shut up, Brianna, I'm going to move on. I think I was talking about one of the Halloween night dances. It was one of the contemporary numbers. I think it might have been Steven and Riley's. I'm not sure whose it was, but I did say that, what was it? I was about to say that Derek only gave 110 away that night, and that was to Chandler. But I was like, you know what? Shut up. I'm going to talk about it when I get to Chandler's dance, because that's mainly what it's about. Anyway, where was I? Carrie Ann gave literally everybody a 10 except Alona and Chandler, as I said in part 1. I can understand why she didn't give Alona a 10, but not Chandler. This being the only dance from Halloween night Derek scored a 10-2 speaks absolute volumes. Like, he knows what he's doing. I mean, Carrie Ann and Bruno also know what they're doing, but, like, sometimes they give away scores that should have been a little bit lower or a little bit higher, but moving on. 6, I already posted this. Did I not? Oh, never mind. I did. I was going the wrong way. Don't mind me. 4, Chandler and Brandon Salsa. I feel like Chandler had the most underscored dances, some of the most underscored dances this season. The amount of perfect scores she deserved but didn't get is absolutely crazy. This is one of them. I agree that it probably wasn't as good as some of her other dances, like the Viennese Waltz and the Argentine Tango and stuff, but it was still phenomenal, and it still honestly deserved a perfect score, in my opinion. 3, Chandler and Brandon's Redemption Jive. Just letting you guys know, before I continue, the rest of the dances are going to be from Chandler and Brandon. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, 3, Chandler and Brandon's Redemption Jive. This is probably my favorite jive of all time, and I watch this literally every single freaking day. I'm not even kidding. Not a word of a lie. This is some of the absolute best choreo I've ever seen, and they ate this jive up and left literally not a single crumb. This was such a huge improvement from the first jive. 2, Chandler and Brandon's Foxtrot. This is another dance that I find myself watching at least once a day. Her frame was nice and her lines were out of this world. I love the choreo too. And like the sass that she gave, like at the end of the dance. Queen. Slay. And my favorite dance of the entire season. I wasn't going to put this at number 1. I was actually originally going to be the Redemption Jive, but I switched it after rewatching some of these dances. My favorite dance of the season was Chandler and Brandon's Freestyle. This is definitely my favorite freestyle of the night. I loved every second of it, and I love how they included all black dancers to kind of celebrate being the first all black couple to reach the finale. This was so fun to watch, and it was so special and legendary. So, that is it for today's video, or videos, because I had to make it part 2. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you would like to see more content from me, I'm trying to say that part so slow, because I always say it so fast, and it kind of comes out a little bit mumbly, or whatever. So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 22. Bye, guys.